This took me like 3 weeks to make, and it's still getting a lot of views. Thank you. I was planning to make this video right after it, but I didn't feel like it until now. I'm not the best at explaining, but I'll try. When episode 5 of Digital Circus released and I noticed Gangle didn't have an evil clone, I was wondering how she would look, so I drew a design, but then later Gooseworks answered a question of how Evil Gangle would look, so I fixed the drawing by just recoloring. Later after, I realized I could just edit Zajak's models to look just like it, and I had this idea to make her mask shape more sharper, resembling like devil horns. I did some image edits for fun as a concept of how it would look in the episode. Then I later decided to really make a video, but I had an issue. I don't have a way to contact the voice of Gangle. Maybe I could have reached out Marissa on email or whatever other means, but I think I was just too shy or just assumed she was busy or something like that, I don't know. So I went asking around to find someone who can do a really good impression, and I was recommended Daikaiju Arts, Yokaiju, Daikaiju Sila, I don't know what name to go, but that's their names.
Food, water, Yuri!
I was already familiar of her videos before, and her impressions for Pomni, Suho, and Gangle were really spot on.
Yeah, if it's a clone, then he didn't do anything.
No, he's the exact same!
I was able to reach her out on her Tumblr and Twitter, told her my idea, and got the voice lines I needed. In the meantime, I was already working on the animation. I did some blocking here and there of how I imagine Evil Gangle will move, grabbed the poses from the renders I did for those image edits, and I just went in with the flow. I didn't really storyboard anything or did IRL posing recordings. I just had everything in my head and made it a reality. Made sure the lighting was spot on so it looked convincing, and for the softball glove and ball, I edited models I found on Sketchfab and recreated the cane emblem into it. And since I was using Blender, I had to stick with the rendering in Eve, because it will take too long to render in cycles in my laptop. Rest in peace. So for that, I had to use some shader nodes that creates a shadow cast in Eve. After getting all that done, I started modding the episode. I spent many years doing video editing, analyzing visual effects and such, so I knew what to do in After Effects. I never truly used the content-aware fill tool until now, and I was learning as I was using it. I had to manually clean out Evil Orbsman from the many scenes and paint in what I assumed was behind him. Then the content-aware fill covered the rest of the frames I needed it to cover. It wasn't perfect, but it's my video, so I didn't worry too much about it. I was lucky that most of the footage was static, but for moving areas that needed clean up, I had to grab parts of the footage and make it fit in its place. For the Evil Gangle animation renders, I made sure to render them as a .move format, so they can be transparent. It was easy just placing them and tweaking it a bit to match the compressed quality of the original video. In some occasions where characters were supposed to be in front of her, I had to mask them. I mostly used mocap, which made it easier but still took a while. After all that, the final step was putting it all together in Vegas Pro. I was lucky to find out that the Filipino dub and some others kept Evil Orbsman silent, so that saved me some time. But for other parts, I needed to tweak the audio, so I used Ultimate Vocal Remover. For example, it allowed me to put in the new Gangle lines. I didn't want the video to have the entire softball adventure, so I cut it down to try and make Evil Gangle the main focus. I made a thumbnail with Gangle pointing and my original drawing, and done. It was finished just in time before episode 6. There's nothing else I can think to do with this creation of mine. I noticed that Evil Gangle became like another part of the fan base, so that's cool. She appeared on that one D&D stream with the cast.
Oh!
You see someone very familiar in there.
It's amazing!
I would like to make a quick shout out to Super Weebros 08 for designing Evil Gangle.
I love this render. It looks like an old PC game.
I'm Evil Gangle. Who the fuck are you? I'm getting a request to do Evil Gangle. Come on down to my bodega. Buy my totally not expired chicken parm sandwiches.
Alex reached me out to use her, and I offered myself to make a render for him. I had a few ideas on what to do with Evil Gangle, like Daikaiju could do a Says Things video, or maybe merch like stickers, pins, a plushie. I'll have to ask Glitch permission for that, or if Glitch wants to do something with it, they can. I don't care, just let me know. Por cierto, quisiera hacer el doblaje latino, pero no conozco a nadie que haga una buena impresión, así que si pueden, por favor, recomiéndenme a alguien, gracias.
That's 67.
You know what, little Jester girl? Fuck off! I know about those numbers. 6, 7 this, 6, 7 that.
Oh no.